McMahon allegedly freaked out over a certain social media post. WWE planned to bury a certain tag team before their departure from the company, and Triple H's position in the company has been changed. We'll tell you more in a bit. We are kicking things off with some rather interesting news courtesy of the Wrestling Observer newsletter relating to a photo that was posted last week. Now, Cain Velasquez posted this photo on his social media showing him and Ronda Rousey at WWE's HQ in Stamford. There it is. Don't they look lovely together? Now, apparently, Vince McMahon is not a very happy bunny about this, not one bit. So, courtesy of the Observer, Vince McMahon, it was said by one person that Vince McMahon was freaking out badly over it, but knowing that he couldn't fire the leaker, aka Cain Velasquez himself, because he didn't know any better. But it's got to be said also, there's a conflicting report here that they said it was overblown. People were more laughing about it than freaking out about it, perhaps not Vince himself.
So, Cain Velasquez has ruined a Ronda Rousey return for Mania?
And maybe a Cain Velasquez return for Mania. Possibly. I mean, the timing's very, very interesting. They were stood in front of the WrestleMania sign, as you can see. I mean, it doesn't feel like there's really a place for either of them on the card.
Yeah.
But I guess either of them could pop up at Mania.
They could have a Mania moment. They might not have a match, but they might have a Mania moment.
Oh, just stunners to both of them. That would be wonderful. That's what I want to see. No,
well, if Vince is angry enough, I reckon Vince could take Cain Velasquez in a fight.
Yeah? Rousey as well? Two on one?
You've seen Vince's muscle and fitness spread, right?
Yeah.
He's biting the bar. He could have Cain Velasquez, no bother.
Of course. I mean, it's an interesting one because I feel like if Ronda Rousey were to pop up at WrestleMania, it takes all of the focus away from Shayna Baszler. And that's surely where they're going with this. It's going to be Shayna defeating Becky, standing tall. There are, of course, reports that Becky and Seth might be taking time off after WrestleMania. Cain Velasquez, where would you see him popping up?
Costing Brock, but then that'll cheapen Drew's victory.
That's true.
Because I think Ronda may be at ringside for Shayna.
Do you reckon? Maybe that's it.
You know, there's a relationship there in terms of the four horsewomen. Mm-hmm. So
I mean, this is absolutely all speculation at this point. They may be at WrestleMania. They may not.
Popping in to say hello.
Yeah, they might be. Apparently, it was just a complete coincidence that they were there at the same time. They just bumped into each other in the corridor. Hello, let's get a quick picture for Twitter. Think of all the retweets. We all do it. And so
everybody in the office is like forming an octagon out of dividers.
Sorry, Miss Rousey, Mr. Velasquez, can you not post it? It might ruin things. Vince is going to be really upset about it. So there you go. Vince McMahon being absolutely crazy. Reportedly, as always.
Can you imagine when this sort of thing happens? Like, there is a hallway, and down that hallway is Vince McMahon's massive office. But I imagine it's like a cavernous hallway. There's nothing else there. It's just this long, winding path, like going to see the Emperor or something. And all you hear is just boom, and damn it! And it just echoes through the building, and every member of staff just flinches. They all get a feeling.
They're used to it. Once a day, every day, when his meat wrap is slightly too cold.
Yeah.
All I was imagining when you were saying that, you know the Simpsons episode where they rebuild Flanders' house, and it's Barney there going, welcome to your master bedroom. Welcome to Vince's office. It's smaller and smaller. We will keep you updated, of course, on Vince's insanity and everything else. Next up, a little bit more insanity, once again courtesy of the Wrestling Observer. WWE reportedly, their plans were to bury a certain SmackDown tag team who may be, who knows, departing the company very soon.
They've been departing for a good number of years.
Contracts haven't expired yet. They're expiring very soon. We are, of course, talking about the revival. There they are once again. Now, it's been reported that because they've reached their downside guarantee, their wages, their salary is being cut significantly before they leave the company. It's as good as a done deal now. They are going.
It's a very strong indicator that this hasn't quite worked out and things need to move on.
Yeah, totally. And you know what? They've not been used on TV. They were pulled from Elimination Chamber, replaced by Lucha House Party.
They've popped up and helped in random feuds that have nothing to do with them.
Sure, yeah, they've done that. Yeah. Well, let's talk about what the original plan was. WWE originally planned to make them into a comedy tag team. That had been rumoured for a while. We have a few more details on that. The plan was to dress them up as old tag teams in an attempt to bury them. So they would come out, I don't know, Legion of Doom. Oh, what a dash! And they come out All in the spikes. Who else would you like to see them as?
Let's just throw in the Blade Runners. Let's go way old school.
Yeah, why the hell not? Heart Foundation would be lovely to see. The Rocket. Imagine them coming out of the rockets, pointing everywhere.
Rock and Sock Connection.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about this is, if they did go ahead with this, if they had done this, this wouldn't have affected anyone's perception of the Revival. We know they are one of the best tag teams in the world today, and it would have just reflected really poorly on WWE and Vince himself, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would have just been more fuel to the fire for when they do leave.
Yeah,
look
totally.
at the Stardust gimmick. Like, Cody hates that with a passion, and that's just fueled him into doing what he's doing now.
Yeah.
So the more you put people in these situations, the more it just drives them to want to prove you wrong elsewhere.
Yeah, totally. And any wrestling fan who watches the Revival come out in the spikes or in the Rockers garb or whatever, the Rock and Sock, whatever, they're not going to be thinking, oh man, these guys are rubbish, aren't they silly? They can't wrestle. They're just thinking, what the hell are you doing? They're going to get more hyped for AEW as a result.
If they really wanted heat for them, though, you just have to repackage them as the new Midnight Express and put Cornette.
No, I like that a lot. So, I mean, the contracts are reportedly expiring in the next few months, so we could see them pop up. I guess, I believe as soon as June, July in AEW. There'll be no 90-day no-compete clause if the contract's expired. So as soon as they're gone from WWE, they're good to pop up in AEW or wherever the hell they go.
Maybe they'll be the Exalted one when it's finally revealed in
next week. Next week. Who's it going to be, Sam?
I'm really hoping it's Brody Lee. I hope it's like a huge swerve and it's like, whoa!
It just seems too orchestrated. Like, with all the teasers of Matt Hardy, but nobody would be disappointed if it was Matt.
This is it. Like, I think if it was Matt, it'd be amazing. But I think if you do the swerve, it could be equally as amazing. But I don't know how many people would be legitimately annoyed by that.
You know what? What if they bring out Matt Hardy, it looks like it's him, and then from behind, Brody Lee lays him out, and the Dark Order has betrayed Matt Hardy, setting up a feud between Matt and his new minions.
And then Jen just comes out
the kangaroo and all that
for no reason.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. So the Revival, I expect to see them pop up in AEW in the next few months.
There is not enough kangaroo wrestling going on.
Right, I'm going to ignore this completely. Revival not booked for WrestleMania. If it does go ahead, we'll of course keep you updated on that as well. It's a very interesting time. What a chaotic week, but also what a nice time to not be talking about the C word, the C virus that we're not allowed. We've got a video finally that's not focused on that. So Revival, hello. And finally, let's talk about Triple H, a man who has very recently had his role within WWE's corporate structure changed a little bit. We're going to talk about that now. So this all occurred over the past few weeks, but we've got a few more details on it now. So recently, Levesque was the head of talent relations, but he also oversaw many other departments in his role as Executive Vice President of Talent, Live Events and Creative. But he's been entirely moved away from that, Brad Bloom taking on those responsibilities, and now he is very much overseeing NXT full stop. That is his job, which some are reporting as a demotion. I guess in the corporate structure of things it probably is, but his focus is just very much on NXT, which I think speaks volumes about how much investment they're putting in NXT, especially now it's a weekly TV show, not just on the network and all that. Triple H just involved in NXT now.
I mean, he's had his toes dipped in so many different pools, so it makes sense for him to just, put both feet into NXT and really oversee that.
Totally, and with the expansion of NXT and just the weekly TV stuff, I imagine it's a role which needs a lot more time devoted to it that he may not be able to do if he's taking on all of these other responsibilities.
Unless he's annoyed Vince, in that case, then do you imagine that Triple H fired? Like, what would happen to the world?
Him, Ronda Rousey, and Cain Velasquez.
It's revealed,
give him NXT.
He was the one. He's just out of frame.
He took the photo. Burst mode. There you go. So there you go. Triple H's new company position revealed there. So we'll keep you updated on all of that stuff. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, of course. Tune in tomorrow for what is going to be an insane episode of Graded covering SmackDown, which is emanating, of course, from the Performance Center, likely with no audience at all.
I can't wait to hear the pumped-in crowd noise. I can't wait to hear all the spots being called.
Tell me what you suggested outside with Macaulay Culkin.
So if you look at film sets when they have massive like stadiums full of people, if they don't CG that, they'll use these inflatable dummies that sit in the seats in the bleachers, and as the motion goes past, say it's a racing car, as the motion goes past, it's so fast you can't tell they're not real people. Well, they may do that for Mania in my head. And they'll just have Macaulay, we'll have hundreds of thousands of them, have Macaulay Culkin, like in Home Alone 2, just making them all move.
Clown,
just running up and down, like pulling all these strings. Vince getting angry at him, literally coming out and pointing, like, and Macaulay's running around.
Macaulay Culkin said he wasn't going to Mania this year. This could be the thing that changes everything in Sam Driver's head. It wouldn't be a news video with me and Sam without an insane suggestion. So there you have it. As I say, have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you very soon.